This is a good arm day pre-workout hype right here. I'm not caught up on Sam Sulek's like going to his competitions YouTube videos yet. I watched the one where he was like in his kitchen. I don't know if you guys have seen it. He's doing his like his food. He just has like rice cakes and turkey, 99-1 turkey, and I think he had like tuna, like literally nothing. I mean, he's eating scraps of absolutely just the most plain, bland, boring, food you could ever imagine. And yeah, I don't read really comments on his videos or too many YouTube videos, but I wonder like how many people see what he's doing and realize like, oh yeah, to get really shredded, it really takes like a ridiculous deficit. And something I wanted to mention for you guys that are about to start or just starting, or even you might be deep into a diet right now, is that the 500 calorie deficit, how simple that sounds, honestly, in my opinion, doesn't really work as on paper with so much ease as it does in real life with so much ease. 500 calories is really adaptable for your body to adjust, and metabolic adaptation is basically this process where your body gets less food intake or maybe expends more, and after a certain amount of time it just gets used to it, and that's what you would call a plateau, for example. I wanted to just say, like, if you guys are wondering why you're not losing weight or why you're not losing weight fast, your deficit just isn't big enough. But I want to say that with like a little asterisk on top, and I want to include the fact that if your deficit isn't necessarily big enough, that could be a thing. However, you might need more food in you in a strategically placed day during the week. And that's where refeeds and cheat meals or high carb day, high calorie days come in. The most common scenario where people are stuck or not progressing, where they want to progress or at a speed that they want to progress in their fat loss phases, is because they will think, oh, I took away some carbs and added some cardio, and they will get some fat loss, and it kind of stalls, and then they go, oh, I'm stuck, what should I do? And you're not stupid. People that are in this position, they're not dumb. They know that they have to either eat less food or do more cardio, or some combination of the two. And sometimes you may be in a situation where you need actually not to touch your deficit, because your deficit is actually really significant. You might be at a 500,000, 1,500 calorie deficit like per day. However, your body is metabolically essentially adapting and kind of getting used to it. And think of like a car engine. If you're going to go a mile in a car and you step on the gas pedal, like freaking floor it. You're at the red line of your RPMs, you're at 6,000 RPMs or whatever average car has for where the red line is, and your speed is at whatever the top speed of your car, and you just went that 1 mile that you had to go, you got there in however many minutes it took or however many seconds it took. However, that engine just was stressed to the absolute freaking max, because you're at the red line of the max RPMs it can handle. You got there really fast, so congrats, good job, you got there really fast. But you are really taking a toll on the engine by getting there. And that's the analogy that you can make with dieting, is that it's not about going, oh, I'm going to start dieting today, let me go to 0 carbs and 2 hours of cardio, because now you're doing essentially, let me floor the gas pedal. It's not long-term sustainable. Something is going to happen that it wears itself out, and it breaks and has a problem and has to stop and go get repaired somewhere and take a break. And then you also don't want to go that 1 mile in first gear, where the RPMs maybe come up a little bit, your foot's like barely on the gas pedal, or you're not even touching the gas pedal. When you're wondering, why aren't I losing weight? It might not be the fact that your deficit is too small. It could be because the 500 calorie deficit almost like is so easily adaptable, and it might not really be a deficit for you after like a week or two. And then you go, okay, cool, I'm kind of plateaued, I need to drop more. And then you do, but there is a point where you don't actually get the same result, because you dropped your calories or you increased your cardio or both, you got some fat loss. You plateaued, you kept seeing the same weight on the scale, and you're like, all right, I think I'm kind of at a plateau. Let me drop a little bit more carbs and add a little bit more cardio, and you drop fat again. But at some point you do that again, thinking it's like routine, easy on paper. Just keep dropping your carbs a little bit, add cardio a little bit, and there is a point that like you do that and nothing happens. and your weight stalls. And you do it again and nothing happens and your weight stalls. And in my opinion, the number one, the mode average, common most scenario is that body that's undergoing that actually just needs food, which is weird because you're like, I want to lose weight. Why would I be eating? And a refeed or a cheat meal or whatever is the way to basically take that car. You're not flooring it to go the mile. Let's say in 1 mile is your lean at a leanness that you consider like sufficient for you. Let's say it's maybe 10-ish% body fat, or let's say it's for you just want to see your abs, or let's say it's for you want to have your face and your neck lean. Whatever that leanness level is for you, let's say that is 1 mile away from you, or 2 miles away from you, or X distance away. To get there the fastest is the least sustainable, because you're going to floor the freaking pedal, and that's not long-term going to work. What happens when you get there? What are you going to do? Let off and get fat again? What's such a waste? But going there so slow is like, I don't want to just wait all my life to get in shape or be such slow progress that I'm metabolically like adapting to my small little deficit of 500 calories a day. That's not that much. Like, to lose fat at a consistent rate and measure that rate, I think anywhere between 1.5 to even 2.5 pounds in a week is like really a sweet spot. Roughly 2-ish pounds, I think. A kilo a week is like a sweet, not too much, not too little spot to be. But every week it will get harder, and you will get a point that you're going to add some cardio and decrease some carbs, and really like nothing happens. And that's the first sign that your body actually needs a meal or multiple meals or a day or even 2 days or 3 days of higher calories. Because just like the engine's getting beat up, taking you that distance at a good pace, maybe not flooring it, but you're 2 or 3 or 4 diet adjustments in, and now you're going to diet adjust again because the last adjustment didn't really give you like that same fat loss, didn't progress and push your fat loss. You almost stalled. And that's where, for me and for my people and how I diet for my body, those spiked food days are your best friend. And I don't mean morning till night, eat nonstop, and gain 10 pounds the next day. I'm saying like maybe have 2 or 3, maybe 4 of your meals, and then from like 7 o'clock, that time when you eat that meal, maybe 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock onward, you have like a meal, entree, dessert, maybe some snacks and like whatever, and you go to bed, and you've consumed for that day maybe 2,000, 3,000 calories more than you normally would have. However, you're in a pretty significant deficit, and that spike in food is like pulling the car over and just giving it a second, letting it cool off, and then it gets back on the road and resumes, and you're maintaining the integrity and the health of the engine, if that makes sense. So the car engine analogy is really like the best way I could ever describe your metabolism and adjusting a diet and planning for plateaus to come, because they will. And you're going to be looking at the scale like, damn, this fucking number's not moving. And my carbs are pretty low. My cardio is really getting up there. Like, I'm going to have to keep adding. And someone like Sam Sulek, he's trying to even, like, he's 2, 3, 4 weeks away from his show, let's say, like a few weeks ago. He was not eating really anything. And he was doing 2 hours on his cardio every day. So you would think someone who's 200 and however much he weighs, 200 and something pounds, plus the gym expenditure, plus cardio in the morning, plus cardio at night, plus the fact that his carbs are like double digits. He wasn't even eating 100 carbs. He was eating less than 100 carbs. And he still had to come down 5, 10 more pounds on the scale to get to like a contest shape. And just because you're not trying to do a contest doesn't mean what I'm saying doesn't apply. What I'm trying to say is the deficit that he was in was so vast, yet it was so microscopic. Like, earning a half a pound on the scale loss of fat loss is like so much work. Whereas if you're 200 pounds and you're lean at like 180 or 170, 200 to 190 is a breeze. 190 to 180 is a little bit tougher. 180 to 170 is tough. 170 below is like grueling. You're on no food, crazy cardio. Your deficit on paper, why would you need a 2,000 calorie deficit a day? When on paper, 500 to 1,000 calories a day gives you 1 to 2 pounds of fat loss. Yeah, that sounds nice in a concept, in a textbook, but apply that to a human body, and it's not really applicable. The deeper you go, the more the on paper stuff is less applicable. Starting off, it is. Whether it's a client, me, other people on the internet, people on YouTube, Sam Sulek dieting for a show, your deficit will get extreme. if you are a person that is not an easy fat loss type of person. Martin Fitzwater, who just competed at the Mr. Olympia last year, he told Chris Bumstead in one of their workout videos they did, he goes, dude, I don't do any cardio. All I did was drop my food. So besides those crazy genetic anomalies, genetic elites, whatever, I'm talking to you, a regular person, coming from me, a super regular person, that the deficits can start pretty chill. If you make a diet adjustment and nothing happens, that is the first immediate sign that you need food in your body. You need to pull the car over. And I don't mean binge and go wild and lose a week of progress and lose focus. I'm saying that your hunger hormones, your metabolism, your thyroid, your pituitary gland, everything, your insulin sensitivity, like everything has to take. There needs to be a break where you give your body basically what it needs, because your body as a autonomous being with involuntary processes, that aspect of your body that is out of your control, you can manipulate it though. Just because it's not in your control doesn't mean you can't manipulate it. And the biggest thing that I see people do, and the mistake that they make, because maybe they're worried or they're scared or whatever, maybe they just don't know, the counterintuitive solution that person really needs is you gotta pull your car over, dude, and take a break. Like, you need just a meal, a freaking burger, fries, a couple burgers or some fries, and a freaking milkshake. How many times do you see bodybuilders talk about, and not even bodybuilders, just anyone that's ever competed, say, yeah, I actually looked better the day after my show. And any of you guys out there that have really dieted hard, you'll go have this crazy meal and you wake up the next day like looking better. You're like, I had a burger and a fries and I woke up the next day lighter. Do you know how many times I've eaten a cheat meal and woken up lighter the next day, and how many times my clients have eaten a burger, fries, and woken up lighter the next day? Someone will text me, they're stuck at a body weight. It'll be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're like at the same body weight. And then I go, hey, today, no cardio. Pull the car over, take a break, no cardio today. I want you to throw in 150 extra grams of carbohydrates today. And I want you to have a little bit of extra water and just fucking chill. But I firmly, with like my whole heart, believe that the number one missed component of pushing through fat loss plateaus is not just adding cardio and taking away more food, adding more cardio, add in clenbuterol, add in the yohimbine, add in the fat burners, add in dude, no, your body doesn't need those things. Your body needs food. And it might need a day, a meal, a freaking weekend of just elevated calories to wake it back up. If you've dieted, you ate a cheat meal, are you hungrier the next day or less hungry the next day? You just ate a lot of food. So you're dieting, you're hungry, I'm hungry. Let me go eat a burger, fries, dessert, or a steak, fries, and dessert, or a sub and some chips and a freaking Ben & Jerry's, whatever. Let's go eat these high-calorie foods. The next morning, even though you just ate a lot of food last night, your hunger the next day is the most it's ever been. I guarantee it. And anyone that's ever experienced this, back me up here below with your experience. If you've been on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days of a deficit, and then you eat a cheat meal, you have some pasta, or you have whatever, dude, the next morning you're freaking starving. Like so hungry. That is the response that you want. And guess what you did? You rested, you had a lot of water, you ate some food, you got off the cardio, and guess what happened? You got hungrier, you look better, your body is rejuvenated, and now you can take your car, turn it back on, put it back in drive, get back on the road, and continue on to your destination. I want to say one thing real quick. This isn't like, every time I hit a fat loss plateau, I have to eat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're making adjustments that are pushing and amplifying this calorie deficit, and really nothing is happening scale-wise, and you've been at it for 5, 7, 10 days in a row, and you've now added cardio and taken away carbs like a few times now, or you're like a month or two into your diet plan and you're like, I'm still really chunky, but I'm eating almost nothing, and I have so much cardio that I've, prescribed for myself, or I'm getting prescribed from somebody else, but yet I'm still so fat. I don't have any more room. I'm almost at no carbs, and I'm almost at an hour to hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of cardio a day, but I still have so much body fat left to lose. How the heck am I going to lose all this body fat if I don't have anything else to really adjust? My carbs are already gone and my cardio is already maxed out. Those situations are in my opinion, are the more common situation that person needs a day here and there, maybe once every week, once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks, where they just have a really high calorie day. And try it out and see if it works for you. There are going to be times where you just need to freaking suck it up. Get back on the Stairmaster, get back to your chicken and veggies and your Greek yogurt 000 with Splenda and whey isolate, and you just gotta freaking power through it. However, there is a time and place where a few adjustments may happen. Scale's not moving, mirror's not moving, you might even look worse. You might need to throw in a high calorie day or high calorie meal, or just bump your carbs up maybe 100 to 200 grams just for that day. Get off the cardio, have a rest day, and just give your body, pull over, take a second, and go back. Because at the end of the month, at the end of the 6 months, at the end of the 16 weeks, at the end of the 12 weeks, you are going to be in a great spot. Most people's diet phases, they're here, they come down, they hit a plateau, they might have to eat a little bit. It's never this. It's always like this, like the stock market. It's never, yep, everyone's making money all the time, every day, always, yeah. It's always like, and you're kind of like this. Same thing with dieting. So I hope that helps. I'm gonna go hit a nice little arm day over at Muscle Factory. We went to a new gym the other day. It was cool, but they closed a little early for us at 8, and we had our AC techs here. So I'm going to go to Muscle Factory, get a bicep and tricep. I'm going to include one exercise for biceps and one for triceps that no one does anymore, that I think are awesome, and I'm going to show you that in this workout. So for triceps, the good old bench plate on your legs, bench dip. I just wanted to figure out kind of where I was, and then put the plate on my quads. And for this one, you're gonna say, oh, the stretch isn't that great, or you might say it puts your shoulders in a weird position. I feel honestly fantastic doing these, and I'm aggravated at myself that I ever stopped doing them, because you can really load the tricep up, almost like doing like a locking out, like a heavy lockout, or like heavy dips on like just a regular dip machine. I personally prefer this over bodyweight dips or dip machine dips. Just the contraction I feel, and also just like the comfortability in my shoulders. And I don't know, I just think it's really great and very forgotten, but I'm gonna be incorporating these more often, because like I said, I have 2 arm workouts a week. So I don't need to do every single one of my tricep exercises that I like every single time. And for biceps, basically this is a preacher curl, but just with one arm. And how I see it is, I want at the bottom of the rep where my bicep is stretched out the most and the bicep is down towards the floor, I want even that position to have tension and stress on my arm. So I'm not hanging my arm straight down. It's at a slight angle that even when my bicep is fully opened up and stretched, there's tension there. And then I just use my other hand to essentially spot the lifting hand, and it's basically a preacher curl, like on a regular old easy bar preacher curl setup, but you actually get to spot yourself and just alternate back and forth. It's really easy to switch arms, and yeah, I really like this. And good for muscle imbalances. Like for me, I have my right arm that needs to catch up a little bit to my left. And then after doing some of these, I did do 3 exercises for triceps, 3 for biceps. I wanted to check out kind of how I'm looking, just under like sort of pumped conditions versus my morning time where I'm under more fasted conditions. I'm definitely leaner looking at myself here than a couple weeks ago. I mean, I'm definitely more vascular, I'm more cut, I'm more full. Everything looks really great. I'm definitely like feeling the diet though, for sure. The low food and the cardio is not really super easy, and not even because of really anything other than like the time consuming aspect of doing cardio 2 times in a day for most days, and then also including the portion that I work out. And then I also wanted to mention too that the look that I have on certain days, like when I train arms, I feel like I look amazing, and the other times of the day, like in the morning or whatever, I feel like so flat and depleted and blah, and so just kind of like boring. Like my physique just looks kind of just boring to me. And I have to remember that just because I'm in the gym and I'm pumped and everything like that, like yeah, it's cool, but what I really need to focus on is when I wake up in the morning, like that's my most true honest look. And when I come to the gym, it kind of might give me like a little bit of like fake feeling like I look better than I do. And when it comes to dieting, all I can say is for myself, I am much fatter than I think I am. I have way more fat to lose than I actually think I do. And I don't want to get caught up in being like satisfied or content with some of the progress that I've been making during this fat loss phase. So I just want to keep pushing, and this is a little diet refeed advice, a couple of arm exercises that I think are helpful, and kind of guess where I'm looking now. So that's gonna wrap this one up. To everyone supporting me, liking, commenting, and just being awesome, I just want to say thanks for that. I will see you guys at the next vid.